this article about Vera Brittain, I could only think of how strong she must have had to been. The news of war excited her at first, but as soon as the reality that she might lose the important men in her life sank in, she was a little uneasy. As an upper-middle-class family, Vera's brother Edward, fiancé Roland, and friend Victor were all recruited as officer corps in the British Army, but never returned. Drastically changing, Brittain's outlook on the war was not, and I quote, glamour or glory, but abysmal grief and purposeless waste. War is definitely not something to take lightly because it can be a matter of life or death with no do-overs. Not to mention the extreme cost and toll on the people, Brittain saw war to be a waste of time. The war took away her happiness, youth, and loved ones. If not for all the deaths in the longest world war, think about how society could have soared. The limits in how far our world could be, whether in advanced medicines, literature, and art, are endless. The higher up in society, the higher role in war you played, which was the highest point of the trenches. Consequences being, higher on the social scale, the greater the chances of death.
On Christmas morning of 1914, both the British and the Germans in the trenches agreed to have a Christmas truce. They agreed not to shoot at each other if they left the trenches or crossed between the lines. Eventually, everyone left the trenches and talked to each other, even though they were on opposing sides. Both the British and the Germans treated each other like friends and forgot about fighting that day. It was considered the last moment of the 19th century that people acted for the better and proved that humans are getting better as time goes on. It was a very surprising thing to happen, especially during World War I.